Okay, now let's talk about compass bearings. Let's talk about compass bearing, right? So our three-figure bearings simply had three figures which told you the direction of one point from another. But now a compass bearing has two directions and an angle in between, right? So it has two cardinal directions and an angle in between. So what happens for the first part of a compass bearing, you have either north or south, right? And then the middle part, just a different color, you have an angle. And then the last part, you have either east or west. So that's how compass bearings are, right? So for example, I can have something like north 60 degrees east, right? North or south, it was north. At an angle of 60 degrees, east or west, it was east, right? So that's a compass bearing. It always has the same structure. The first cardinal point is either north or south. You have an angle, and then you have east or west. So another compass bearing we can put here, maybe it's south 30 degrees west, right? Again, you have your north or south, we have south. Angle 30 degrees, and then west. Okay, so now let's have a practical illustration of what this actually means, right? Right? If you have something like north 60 degrees east, it means face north, then turn 60 degrees towards the east. That's how you find the direction of the point you're looking for. This one here is south 30 degrees west. It means face south, right? 30 degrees west. And then turn 30 degrees towards the west. So you'll be facing that direction like that. So that's what these compass bearings simply mean, right? So for example, let's just talk about the bearing of, let's say, C from D. Let's say C from D. And then I'm just going to draw things like this. So I have a north line. And let's say this is the D. Let's say we have our C there. Right? If this is 40 degrees there, right? Then the bearing of C from D is going to be south, because you're facing south first. And then you're going to move 40 degrees towards the west. So it's south 40 degrees west. So that's your compass bearing. South 40 degrees towards the west. You face south first and then turn 40 degrees towards the west. If I was moving that way, it was going to be south 40 degrees towards the east, right? Let's have another illustration. Let's say if E from F, right? So that's north, maybe at F. And then let's have 70 degrees. The bearing here, let's say this is where you get your E. Of E from F is going to be north. You're facing north first. And then 70 degrees moving towards the east, right? So it's north 70 degrees east, right? Face north and then turn 70 degrees towards the east. That's how you end up facing E. So it's like a set of instructions, really, this bearing. Face north. When you're facing north, turn 70 degrees from the north, moving towards the east, and you'll be looking at your point E. So it's very important. If this was three-figure bearing, this would have simply been 0, 7, 0. This is three-figure. But when it's compass bearings, it's north 70 degrees east. Right? So let's try perhaps just two more. If I have a point, maybe let's say J from H. Let's say my H is here, let's say my J is there. If it's from H, we know we want to be able to see a north line at H. So if I'm gonna be at H, for me to face J, I have to face north and then turn a certain angle towards that. So if we say, just for illustration's sake, this angle is 65 degrees, then the bearing is going to be north 65 degrees west. So that's compass bearings, and that's how compass bearings work, right? If an angle, if something is directly south, east, west, right? Something is directly north or directly east or west or south, you can simply say it's due east or due north or due west or due south. You can just say one point is due east of another, due west of another, due north of another, and due south of another. So that's compass bearing. That's how simple compass bearings are. You either face north or south first. From north or south, you then turn at a certain angle towards the east or towards the west. Remember, your angle must be measured from the north or south, not from the east or west, but from the north or south.